I'm able to do that, right, with ease, and I make it look easy only because it was hard for me for so long. And eventually, with all those, hearing the same objections over and over and over again, like eventually I got better at overcoming those objections. So now when I hear a new seller who's never talked to me before, right, but they sound like the thousands of other sellers that I've talked to before. So when this new seller, right, gives me the same objection that everybody else is giving me, I know how to overcome it easily, right? Not just because it's some trick or tactic that I learned, but it's because I've done it thousands of times. So when it happens again, it's not a big deal. I don't get flustered, right? I know how to calmly acknowledge what they're saying, associate it with another situation or a third-party story, or paint a picture, and then I ask, which will move the sale forward, you know? But either way, those micro skills, the only way to get those micro skills, the only way, like you hear Eric Klein on the phone, right? And you see how good he is. And I'm like, I always give my students context, like, hey, yes, Eric Klein, like, we want to get like this, but just understand, like, this is 15 to 20 years of sales experience packed into one video. This is millions of micro skills learned over 20 years, put all into one phone call, in one video, right? So don't compare yourself, but yeah, pick up on the little subtle things that you see here and there after doing the reps. Like, how did he say that, right? And then you call somebody. That's how I would train for the longest time. I would watch either Jerry Norton and Eric Klein, and I would see how they would say certain things, certain phrases they would use, and then I would pick up the phone, I'd start dialing, and I would use, I would try to use exactly what they said, right? I would write down what they said too, and then I'd try to use that exact same word track, read it on the phone, but I'd do it over and over and over again until I got good at it, right? So now when students come in and they see me making phone calls, and they say, how do you do that? I could give them some of the little micro skills, right? I'll always do, like, I'll teach you the little micro skills that I learned, and they're like, oh, that's interesting, then it helps them shorten the learning curve. But, like, the bottom line is you're not really going to get good at this little micro skill that I'm trying to teach you until you try practicing it for hundreds of times, and then you get good at it.